What's up, witches? Welcome to my channel. I have another surprise today. My surprise last week was winning a deck from US Games, but this is a gift. Friday, it showed up on my porch, but the bummer is there was no gift receipt in it. So I have zero idea who sent this to me. Well, I don't have zero idea. There is one person who has gifted me with all of my MJ Cullinane decks so far, which is the Crow Tarot, the Grimalkin's Curious Cats, and the Guardian of the Night. So I have my suspicions, but I'm not sure. So the reading that I do on this, please stick around. After the deep dive, I will do a test drive, and that reading will be aimed at my mysterious benefactor. So here we have the Wise Dog Tarot, and I really feel like this might have been in reaction to the Catacorn deck, because I mentioned I've got so many cat decks, and there are so many cat decks. But I've only seen, I will say 3, and this is one of them, dog decks. There's one that I have called Dog Wisdom, and it's kind of, you know, cutesy poo and just pictures of puppies and a keyword that doesn't really relate much to the picture. So I'm happy to have this. I myself am a cat person. I love dogs, though. Dogs are some of my favorite people, and I have known some wonderful dog people. So here we go. This is from US Games, by the creator of the award-winning Crow Tarot. Wise Dog Tarot was created as a tribute to the unconditional love and loyalty of dogs large and small. Inspired by the symbolism of Rider-Waite Tarot, these 78 vibrant tarot cards help connect us to the wisdom and intuition that dogs are eager to share with us. Using this unique tarot deck as a healing tool, we can tap into the protective energy dogs bring into our lives, learn to be more in the moment like them, and embrace their pure joy. Includes 78 card deck and 64-page booklet with ideas for single and 3-card readings, and the copyright on this is 2020. So we have the matte 2-part box, which is nice. It's nice that it's not in, you know, one of the bigger boxes. It's not the same dimensions as her other decks, which is kind of interesting, but, you know, neither here nor there really. And here's the guidebook. As you can see, I have deplasticed. So let's take a look here. The Wise Dog Tarot. Okay, let's see. I don't want to read the same thing, and they've put different text for the introduction, which is appreciated. The Wise Dog Tarot was created as a tool for healing that connects us to the intuitive nature of dogs. Which, you know, everybody thinks of, oh, cats, you know, mystical and magical and mysterious and aloof and everything. Nobody ever calls dogs mysterious and aloof. But they are nonetheless incredibly sensitive and intuitive creatures. These 78 cards were designed to capture the loyal and protective energy dogs bring to our lives. When called upon, this energy guides us into the present moment where peace of mind can be found. The Wise Dog draws out the wisdom that dogs offer to each and every one of us unconditionally. That's the truth. With their patience, determination, and true love, they teach us how to tap into our spirit, our internal guard system, and how to speak our trust without fear. Just read the words, Luna. They teach us how to embrace pure joy and how to let our emotions create the restorative power of bliss. But most of all, they teach us how to sit in the moment, how to live in the here and now. Have you noticed when you're feeling low how your mood shifts when you encounter the presence of a dog? Depends on the dog. They bring you back into the moment, into the now. When they look at you and put their head on your lap, they transfer over a bit of their essence, that part of their soul that is relentlessly optimistic. They share that irresistible energy that simply basks in the pure joy of being. Hello, my name is Margot, MJ for short, and for my entire life I've been one of those creative type people who has always enjoyed dabbling. I've long held a deep-seated knowing. Deep-seated, interesting, because the expression is deep-seated, but she has seated, and that brings a nuance to it. That's nice. Knowing that I was put on this planet to be an artist from the time I was a child, I knew this was my destiny. I just didn't know why and what my exact purpose was. Well, that was until 2017 when I was guided to create the Crow Tarot, my first tarot deck. Like a bolt of lightning to my soul, I discovered something magical. I feel joy when I create, and while in the process of creating art, time seems to slow down or stop altogether. There's a flow that I am drawn into, and almost nothing else in the world matters. That is just one part of my work. The second half, and the part that up to now was missing, was using my ability to not only create a lovely or functional piece of art, but also something that connected on a deeper level to those who enjoy my work. By creating tarot and oracle decks, I am able to help others through my art. Does she have an oracle deck? When these two components come together, I feel complete bliss. Not only do I get to use my talents to create, it is through that art that something greater manifests. My artwork helps others heal and grow and see their situation from a different perspective, and hopefully find peace in the present moment. Thank you. Thank you for helping me create this tribute to the beautiful creatures that share our homes, our hearts, and sometimes take over our beds. Peace, MJ. So we get a little bit about the artist there too, and I like that. And then we are straight into the cards. So we have a long description for the majors, and then we have keywords. And it's just keywords. It doesn't, no upright or reversed. And then when we get to the minors, oh, how interesting. We have, wow, we have keywords for overall for swords. Clarity, quick-witted, direct, critical, cutting. And then we get just a brief paragraph on each of the cards. That's very interesting. Then we have a reading with Wise Dog Tarot, how to use the Wise Dog Tarot as a tool for healing. Clearing your deck. Then single card advice, 3-card readings. Spread ideas are past, present, future. Current problem or obstacle, source of block, advice for moving forward. Opportunity, potential benefit, potential obstacle. Your emotions or beliefs, your partner's emotions, beliefs, source of common ground. Current problem, obstacle, first action step, and long-term plan. A lot of good suggestions there. Then we have like a glossary of basic symbolism. Bird, messages from the other side. Butterfly, change and metamorphosis. Cherry blossoms, fresh starts and new beginnings. Crows, intuition, connection to the other side. I'm not going to read them all, but this is interesting because they're, I'm sure these will be repeating motifs, and it is good to know why she's included certain things in certain cards. And then we have acknowledgments. Thank you to all the beautiful dogs that inspired this deck. Isn't that wonderful? Oh my goodness. By name. Oh, and then we have a bigger bio and a picture of her. Hi, MJ. Margot Jones, aka MJ, is a Seattle-based artist, writer, mother, lover of all things magical, especially crows. She attended Parsons School of Design, yet her unique technique of telling stories through digital collage is self-taught and has been her passion for over 10 years. Nature and its creatures are a familiar theme in MJ's work. However, having grown up south of Boston, her collages are heavily influenced by the energy of the city. Her work often merges the two worlds. Her path into the world of tarot is a beautiful accident that came out of a difficult time in her life. How many of us share that story? The process of creating Crow Tarot helped her rediscover her own wings, though at the time she didn't realize how life-changing the project would become. She simply fell in love with the process, the messages, and the feeling each card evoked. The Crow Tarot, MJ's first published deck, has achieved a significant following and recognition with crow lovers in the tarot community. When MJ is not making art or writing for her Crow Tarot blog, she is spending time with her daughter River, playing in nature, practicing magic, and finding new sources of inspiration. Okay, I always like to start off with a connection with the artist and author and with great gratitude for them. So let's head in. So the back of the cards is just this doggy bones in black, white, and red on a blue background, obviously not directional. And then here is the Fool and our first doggy. So I'm assuming that the doggies named in the back will be in order of their appearance. And, you know, if you wanted to, you could go through and do a little ritual with this deck and bless every single doggy in the deck. Yes, you could. Okay, so here's the Fool. And we do see a familiar image. He's about to leap after a butterfly. So now we can see how these symbols are appearing in her collage style. I'm going to go back to this glossary just to see how many of these things are in it. We have crow, we have a butterfly. We don't have a moon or a crescent moon. We don't have a snake. Okay, we do have water. We have clouds. Is this ice? I don't know. So not everything is going to be named. All right. So there's the Fool. Not only is he about to step off, but it's not really a cliff, it's into the water because he's chasing after a butterfly. Then here's the Magician. Not a familiar image. So we get the dog's face front and center, looking very sweet and peaceful. And then there's a hand with a heart. Oh, look at, okay, so, you know, thinking about the Magician being the ability to manipulate and to manifest what you want. And we've got, like, dogs hold our heart in their hand. They manipulate us by their sweet, sweet faces. I'm not sure what this is down here. Now, poppies. Poppies are their strength and perseverance. We don't have the infinity sign because we know what that means. Heart, life force, where the soul and body connect. It doesn't mention hand. Very interesting. And it says violets, but I don't think those are violets. Okay. Then we have the High Priestess, a Kali. And again, the moon hasn't been mentioned, which is an interesting thing. All right, let's go to the book and find where she's taken us here. High Priestess resides in the realm where the material world and the spiritual world overlap by a mere whisper. She's the one who communicates with your intuition. She's the one who stands on the sidelines, watching and waiting for the right moment to send you the information that will help you move ahead. Pay attention as she is near. When you get that feeling in your gut, when you hear a song or see a word you can't seem to shake, pay attention, it's a message just for you. Keywords deeply connected to spirit, intuitive messages. And that's all. So we don't get a mention of that moon. I find that interesting, such a significant symbol as the moon. So if I would venture to say this isn't a beginner's deck. It just doesn't have like that comprehensive information in it. That looks like a cat. There's a crow, a tree. All right. Okay, let's just go. Here's the Empress. Ah, pugs. I'm not really fond of animals with the, what do they call that? Brachiocephal, I don't know, but with the pushed in faces, because I think that's a cruel thing to have done to these wonderful creatures. We've got birds and butterflies and flowers, and there's the wonderful Empress mommy watching her puppies play. And there's the Emperor. So we have the ram, there's a crown, there's a sword, and a golden apple. Sorry, going to keep coming. Nope, no apples there. Okay. I'm kind of disappointed by that. Sometimes when we have a different author and artist, the author will be writing about things and not include some of the things that the artist has put into the image. But when the author and the artist are the same person, I would really like to know. And I'm going to go one more time just to make sure, because what I'm looking for here is a mention of that apple. And there isn't one. Okay. So I guess there's room for you to put your own stuff in. Here's the Hierophant. A dove. So we've got a dog, and then we've got a bunch of dogs and a fox. Okay. I don't know, there's some enigma here. And there's the lovers. Ah, Skipperkey. Skipperkey in Is there such a thing as a white skipperky? And there's the heart again, and the sun and the moon, and a dove. The cherry. Oh, that's perfect. Now, I will say when I took the plastic off these, I did like just a, look through real quick. And this next card, well, first of all, let me finish on this one. Having a huskies pulling a sled is perfect for the chariot. When I first, went through and I pulled this card out because I was like, what am I looking at? What am I looking at? I saw the dog, and this I could not read. It just didn't read as an image to me. I couldn't tell what it was. And I put them down, and then I picked them up a little bit later and looked at this card and saw that that is a lion face. So this kind of digital collage, some of her images get a little jumbled and confused because we don't have like solid outlines on some things. And I was trying to key in on these dark things, and it's like, what am I looking at? You can't really tell that that's an eye. So there are some issues there with readability, and not like psychic readability, but it just the image reading as what it is. It's one of the things I learned when I was doing henna, and you'd reproduce a pattern and everything would just look like a jumble of lines, and then I had a wonderful mentor teach me that it's the thickness and the thinness of lines that really separate different sections. So that is missing sometimes here. There's the hermit. A Shiba Inu, crazy ass dogs. There's the Seattle needle. Okay. There's the Wheel of Fortune, and we have the 4. We've got the bull, the angel, the scorpion, and the lion. And the wheel is bones, so I mean that's recognizable certainly. But wheel world, I mean, without this in the middle, you'd be forgiven for mistaking it as the world, but that's definitely the wheel. Here's justice. I like the black and white. Look at the Scotty dogs. Butterfly in the middle, a sword and a cup. The hanged man. Oh, look at him in a cone. Or her. Her, I would say. Poor baby. Death. Aw. I like the butterfly included here. And, oh, they're calla lilies. Okay, I couldn't tell what I was looking at here, but no, those are calla lilies. Here's temperance. So we get the angel, that's for sure. And I am glad that she's, depicting real dogs and not fantasy dogs. I think the Catacorn deck, that was a little bit on the edge for me and a solid no for a bunch of other people. So the choice in this deck is that we have, I mean, the angel wings is, but we don't have a dog holding cups is what I'm getting at here. Here's the devil. Perfect choice. Absolutely perfect choice. And okay, so we see, I can see the dogs here, but once again, they're a little difficult to read. Look how skinny they are. But like the faces and the heads just sort of blend into what else is going on here. But a chihuahua. And look at the stakes, dripping blood. Wow. Perfect choice. Here's the tower. German Shepherd falling. We've got a bird coming up here. A dove there. Flames and lightning. Here's the star. With irises and the moon. Now see, this was an opportunity to really bring it home to Waite-Smith, because is it only the 2 cards, the Fool and the Moon, that show dogs in the Waite-Smith? I can't think of any others that show dogs, but why wouldn't you have the dogs that are, but anyway, here we go. We've got a big old lanky puppy with the moon behind it and looking into the water at his reflection. I mean, it's a great description. Then here's the sun. They look like buddies. It would have been kind of cool to see him like frolicking. Here's judgment. So we have the dog with angel wings here, and then we have those lilies again. Then we have just sort of this mix and jumble of doggos. And then the world. The underbite dogs. Here's the King of Swords. And she does take, I'm sure these have been taken from photographs of dogs, and then she digitally paints. So we have the crown, the butterfly, a heart, a sword. Here's the Queen. The Knight. And the Page. I don't really see, well, we're just going with it. There's a crab with the Knight, which I don't really understand. So these are air, right? But we've got water and crab here on the Knight. And the Page with the puppies. Let's see what the puppies are. Please have mentioned, yes, poppies, strength and perseverance. I looked at those before. No mention of crab. Okay. Here's the Ten of Swords. Let's look at what she does in the description. So we definitely get, a dog showing the swords coming in. We only see one really piercing. And then there's a woman up here holding a dog and comforting. A soul that experiences trauma can become separated from its body. And I can't tell if this is supposed to be the same dog, maybe. When the trauma occurs away from a caring support system, the healing process may be slow. It may be more difficult, but in the end, the recovery has the potential to form a stronger, more profound bond that will be harder to break in the future. Okay. And then, oh yeah, we don't have keywords. Wow. All right. Here's the 9, and I love that the anxiety is, 2 cats. Yeah. All of the videos of dogs being scared shitless of cats. And then here's the 8 of Swords. He's just kind of behind a boundary there with his eyes closed. There's the 7, the Thief card. Circus stuff going on in the background. Cut your tongue, doggo. And then here's the 6. Kind of sniffing at a little ducky. All right, we see the water, but we don't really see going across the water. There's the 5. The 4. Taking a rest out of the fray, that certainly reads. The 3. Okay, so we have 3 swords. These look like the hilts, kind of going that way, and a clock. And then we've got a heart with these red. Okay, so here's a person's heart connected to, but then we're going up to this clock. So, I mean, is that talking about just when we take on a pet, cat or dog or whatever, unless it's like a monkey or a parrot? We know that the time is very limited. Okay. There's the 2 with an owl. Do we mention owls? No. And the ace. Then we have King of Cups. The Queen, now she's got crab and starfish and turtle, and that is appropriate. The only other thing, there's a heron and a fish there. So this one, there's a fish, has a lot of critters. And then there's the Knight. Horses. Did the Knight of Swords have horses? Oh, look, I turned right to it. No, it has a crab. I'm confused. The Page. There's the 10 with the cat. How interesting. But not people. Then we have the 9 of Cups, the Wish card. We've got victory laurels and not a lot else. There's the 8. Little bird. The 7. Okay, let's see what's in the cups. We have a laurel wreath. We have a home. We have flames. We have a squirrel. A wolf. A bone. I think that's a bone. Yes, and a heart. Okay. I love the expression on the dog. And then here we have the 6. Memories passing down something. Cups full of flowers. There's the 5. Loss. Oh, he's only got one eye. Okay. And there's the 4. Looky, looky what I'm bringing you. Nah. 3 of Cups. Everybody's just kind of sitting with their own cup. Again, how cool would it have been to see like 3 dogs frolicking together? There's the 2, and Jake and Leela. So the cups have their names on them, but there's a snake in the middle. And again, no snake mentioned. Bummer. Ace of Cups with a parrot. With a parrot. Okay. Here's the King of Wands with the salamander, so we definitely have fire. Beautiful gladiolas. There's a queen. Very fiery, again with a bird rather than a cat. Knight of Wands. Fire, fire, fire. There's horses there too. Here's the Page. And then the 10. So we've got this dog trying to climb up, it looks like, or go forward across these kind of dicey sticks. This is a little bit reminiscent, although he's not behind. I mean, he's on guard. I don't know what that symbol means. Here's the 8 of Wands flying through the air. 7. Okay, that's definitely recognizable. There's the 6. Victory. The 5. The 4. In partnership, we have 2 doxies there that are probably mates. Okay, the 3. We've got a long road and a castle at the end, so I guess you could have an idea of, really looking forward to the future. Kind of like the 2, but then here's the 2 wands, and we've got like trees. There's the ace. Oh, it looks like Fritzy, dog, one of my favorite doggy people who is no longer with us. Here's the King of Pentacles. There's a beetle and lots of butterflies here on the Queen. Queen of Wands. Is it Queen of Pentacles? No, I don't know. Anyway, we'll find out on the 9 if there's a cat. There's the Knight. And we do have a horse here. So I think it's only Knight of Swords that doesn't have horses. Page of Pentacles. There's the 10. Definitely looking abundant. Here's the 9. We have the Falcon. All right, yeah, it was the Queen of Wands that has the cat. All right. All right, never mind. There's the 8 of Pentacles. Huh. All right, so we've got sticks. Are we practicing our chasing after sticks? I guess. There's the 7. 6. So kind of like a justice card. Well, there's the scales that we see on the 6 of Pentacles, but we've got this heart and this heart. Is that a doggo heart? And a people heart? Hands? I'm giving you my heart. Get it back in equal measure? I don't know. Here's the 5. Animal shelter, it says. Aw. The 4. The 3. Climbing over the wall. There's the 2. And the ace. All right, let's give it a blessing. And in giving this deck a blessing, oh, I also want to show you the card stock here. It seems like it's going to shuffle well, because you know what? It's US games. The deck it's a little chunky. I can just get my hand around it, but these cards are about to fall off. So, all right, let's bless the deck, and in so doing, bless all of our wonderful doggy friends, and the artist and the author of this deck, MJ Cullinane. Thank you so much for your devotion and for making a deck on dogs. And blessings, of course, to the person that gifted this to me by air and fire. May you be purified and charged. This is ocean water. Open. I just opened it and got it all over the desk. By water and earth. May you be blessed and made whole. And then I got to wipe it off of here because it's everywhere. All right, and by the sound of the bell, wait. Oh, a little more. By the sound of the bell, oof, I'm gonna go too hard. Sorry. May the spirit within you awaken. Guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, thank you for being here. My gang, help me to get the most out of this deck. And I offer you fresh water. And I offer you the fire of Azrael to invoke the spirit of divination. My charcoal is just lit, but it's going to start going. There it goes. Okay, first shuffle. I am expecting it to shuffle okay, but we shall see. Yeah. No problem. I was thinking, her other decks are a little bit of a hard shuffle, but they are shorter, and I think the cards are shorter and wider. And the closer you get to square, the harder it is to shuffle something. I would also say, considering the size of it and that it's a little bit difficult to get my hand around, why do we have borders on these? Why? This is a bleed. There's an image that goes all the way to the edge, so it's not just a white border. Something's been printed on there. But how much nicer would it have been to have the picture take up the whole thing, or to trim it down to this size, which would have been a much easier shuffle? Okay, US Games, stop falling for trends. I'm going to do one more riffle and then we will cut. And this is for my gifter. Please give me messages that will help them wherever they are now, and also for the collective that will help you whenever you are clicking in to watch this reading. What do we need to know today? Always to bring our best selves, to put our best foot forward, to go from surviving into thriving, all of those. How do we bring our best? Particularly for my gifter. Okay, this is it. That's it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we've got the Death card coming up first. And then we have the Hanged Man, and then we have the Sun. Now you saw how well I shuffled. Wow. Then we have the Three of Cups. We have the Four of Swords. And we have the Four of Cups. Okay, so let's go intuitively first. We've got Death card in the middle. Something has changed for good and forever. There's certainly loss. There's certainly just a big change. With all the major arcana, there are so many cards that indicate change. But it's a different type of change. The Death card is permanent change. Done, good, gone forever, no going back. All right. Then we have the Hanged Man and the Sun. So this ending, this change has put us in the pretty stark knowledge that we're not in control of everything. Hanged Man talks about, okay, I'm not in control, so I might as well not get upset about that. The Death card says, you know, there's some grieving to be done to begin with. You have to let go, grieve this ending. But it also says that there might be the understanding that, yeah, this is how life goes. I'm not in control of it, and I'm not going to get upset over that aspect, that I'm not in control, just over the ending itself. Then we have the Sun over here, which talks about joy and empowerment. So this attitude of really understanding that there's a whole bunch of life that we don't have control over, which is like everything out there, can really be an empowering thing. You would think that the understanding that I'm not in control is disempowering, but this reading is saying no, that is empowering, because then you reclaim your energy from trying to control the externals and bring it back to, how do I see this in a perspective that allows me to stay peaceful and positive? So I would say, dear gifter, you have these skills to recognize, and look at the Death card, looking over at the Hanged Man. Death card is saying you have no control over when things end. But knowing that, we can be peaceful, we can control what we can, which is ourselves and our attitude and how we process, and then that empowers us. Now we've got the Three of Cups, community, hanging out with friends, and the Four of Swords. So here's the two sides of how do we work through these things. We can look for the support of friends. We can remember good times and celebrations we've had, but then we also have to rest. And how interesting that this is kind of on the more negative side of, you know, I just have to go through it, and here's where the friends come in for support. And then when you feel empowered and not absolutely, you know, devastated and pitched into this crisis of lack of control that you've never, you know, realized before, when you have that empowering attitude and the ability to find the upside in things, then you can rest and heal. But at the bottom here, we do have, okay, but maybe we're not quite healing. Maybe we're a little more internalized. Okay, and this axis too, death and the Four of Cups, could talk about the death of sort of going it alone, dwelling on the loss, the negativity, being sort of self-absorbed with it. All right, let's go to the book. The time has come to acknowledge an ending, to recognize when something has reached the conclusion of its time. Much like a caterpillar knows when it is time to make a cocoon so that it can emerge as a butterfly, the time has come for you to shed beliefs or a relationship. Perhaps it's a memory that's keeping you from the change that will naturally usher in a new life, one in which you are free. Keywords are letting go, a passing, moving on, connecting with your purest self. Okay. So that's an interesting nuance, because you talk about death, that's the falling away of the physical. What's left is just the energetic essence. So connecting with your purest self actually makes a lot of sense there. And we do have her mentioning the butterfly. Time has come to shed beliefs or a relationship. That kind of limits it, but it's not a limited thing. Whatever is ending is ending. All right, let's look at the Hanged Man. We do have, two sets of consecutive cards. Not going to worry about it. I shuffled. All right, just as life starts to move along, there's a snag. There's an event that seems to say, oh, not so fast. And before you know it, you enter a state of suspension. The Hanged Man asks that you see this setback not as an opportunity to focus on struggling, but instead as a chance to see your situation from a different perspective. It is a chance to grow, to heal, and to evaluate your position from every angle. You may discover something new that in the end turns out to be fortuitous. Keywords are setbacks, stagnation, releasing control, and seeing a new perspective. Those keywords really do go through the range of, what the Hanged Man stands for. So, good. And then we have the Sun. The Sun offers you warmth and healing radiant light. When you step into its rays, you will find clarity. You'll discover new reasons to feel optimistic as courage and anticipation for the future run through your veins like a charge of electricity. The sun's bright light will put a spotlight on you, on opportunities that should not go without acknowledgement. The sun is a gift that exposes obstacles for what they are and shows you the path to overcoming them. Empowerment. Keywords are illumination, confidence, being in the spotlight, feeling empowered. Okay. Well, she definitely covers the meanings of things. All right, Three of Cups. It is in our tribe that we find solace and support. It is through this support network that we replenish our spirit. When you lean on those you value and trust, tasks will no longer feel so daunting. They may even turn out to be enjoyable. Okay, so we get that idea of, solace and support, replenishing the spirit, and, maybe turn out to be enjoyable, so we don't really get the focus on celebration. And then we have the Four of Swords right there. Rest your mind and rest your body so that you can rebuild your strength. You may feel tempted to push through the pain, to let others dictate your actions, but at this time you would be better served listening to your spirit for those messages to come in clearly. You need solitude. So yeah, these are all really connecting to each other. An ending in both sides, rest and solitude, and then go for support when you need it. And then let's look at the Four of Cups. This is going to be interesting. Are you capable of seeing, let alone deciding, if an opportunity that is presenting itself to you may help provide the solution to a problem? When you connect with your higher self and straddle that space between the material and the spiritual world, only then will you understand the value contained within the cup. Okay, very interesting. We just have two sentences. Are you capable of seeing, let alone deciding, if an opportunity that's presenting itself may help you? So that's, the question. Rather than saying you're not seeing something, something's being presented to you that you're not looking at because you're wrapped up in your emotions, she presents it as a question. Can you do this? Are you capable of this? Because when you can connect to the higher self, that's when you can see what's being offered. So that really does connect this whole reading together. that we're at this point now where it may be time to really make the effort to turn away from just the feels that keep happening and start turning towards the spiritual and see, what spirit has to show you here. That might even be just a new discipline, a new practice that can help you process all of these things. So we certainly get a reading, I would say, wouldn't you? What do you guys think? Okay, all my dog lovers, where are ya? How about posting down below and letting me know what you think of this deck? It definitely has a different vibe than cat decks, and MJ makes beautiful decks, there's no doubt about it. I wish there weren't borders on them because the images are beautiful, but I can't really say that I wish she did more in the writing. Her writing certainly goes to the essence of what's there, even with the minors. She very simply takes us to where we need to go, and that is a talent in itself. So again, thank you to my dear benefactor, and thank you for you that have stuck around this long to the end of the video. Please hit like on your way out, subscribe if you haven't, and there is an Amazon wish list down below. If you send me a deck, I will read for you, which is like the only way you can get a personal reading from me right now. So I thank you in advance. I will see you next time. Until then, this is Luna. Blessed be.